Hello and welcome to Small Cap Spotlight. I'm Karunya Rao, and today we'll put the spotlight on a company called Airfloa Rail Technology Ltd. It's an Indian engineering company that is focused on manufacturing components and turnkey interiors for railway rolling stock, with increasing exposure to aerospace and defense sectors as well. So, how the company is growing, what's been happening in terms of diversification plans, how has life changed for them post the listing? Let's find out all that and more. Joining us today is the Joint Managing Director of the company, Mr. D. Manikandan from Airflow Rail Technology, to chat with us and tell us the way forward. Mr. Manikandan, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome on board.
Thank you so much, Karunya. Uh, I'm Manikandan, Joint Managing Director of Airfloa Rail Technology Limited. Thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast. Thank you so much.
Glad to have you here with us, and I'll dive right in. The company was formed almost 3 decades ago, and it's now a listed player as well. So, if you could first up take us through the journey of the company so far, what have been the key milestones that have really shaped your growth story in the railways and precision engineering space?
Well, Airflow Equipments India Private Limited was started in 1998 by Mr. Venkatesh, founder director, my elder brother, basically. Predominantly to concentrate on the HVAC system. That's why the name Airflow came in, basically. And after 2 years of this journey, I joined this company as a design engineer in 2001 after I completed my mechanical engineering. And we thought that there should be some value addition into this business particularly. So I started concentrating on the railway market, even though it was initiated by my elder brother. Um, we have seen a lot of tractions in the rail business, as in like there's a lot of technology advantage in this particular area. That's what we understood. So those days it was all a mild steel rail coaches, which has got a life of around 15 to 20 years. So
Hmm.
we started developing lightweight aluminum components for railways. So the introduction of lightweight aluminum components started in the year 2001 through Airflow. So that has given us a great mileage in terms of reverse engineering, as in like they were using a component which was a legacy components for 15, 20 years,
Hmm.
which have been changed to an aluminum lightweight components with the powder coating technology, so that the aesthetics and also the weight of the products have drastically changed, and it has given a good outlook to the coaches. So we have introduced these particular components through a project called Jan Shadapti. So
Okay.
we started our journey through Jan Shadapti, and then we did a lot of reverse engineering, and that has created a lot of tractions and breakthrough for our company. So we started doing our own engineering after 2003-4
Okay.
financial year, and then that has been considered as the breakthrough of the development of airflow equipments into a self-driven or a self-engineered product manufacturers, basically. So in
Okay. Wonderful. But you've talked about the pivot that you've made back in the 2000s. Now, railways, metros, these are, government linked projects typically, and they come with their own complexities, challenges, etc. In your journey and your association with the company, what have been the most difficult challenges you have faced so far, be it operational, be it regulatory, or even financial? And if you could tell us about how you overcame those challenges.
Oh, that's we have a very long and very frequent histories, basically, which we have encountered in the last 25 years, basically, which was very much interesting and then challenging. And of course, we came out of all these challenges, and then now we are a IPO listed company, basically. So when
Hmm.
we talk about the challenges during the early 2006, 7, we got a major contract from Indian Railways through a project called MRVC, Mumbai Railway
Hmm.
Vikas Corporations. And then, after 2010, there was change in the government, and then we suddenly uh, was to concentrate on Kolkata projects than on Mumbai projects, basically. So
Hmm.
we, for the first time, the Kolkata Metro was developed. Air-conditioned Kolkata Metro coaches was developed by Indian Railways, and through a turnkey contracts. So that was the
Hmm.
first turnkey contract given to any private company, and we got the major contract of that, basically. So that we have done it in almost 6 months, which was a record break in the Indian railway industry by any private company, basically. So that was basically sleepless nights because of the challenges from the high authorities, and then the political scenarios. We are forced to do the entire train interiors in 6 months, which was really a challenging thing. Parallelly, after this particular project, there was not much a major project because of the instability into the government side, which has created a lot of things. But that has given us a very good lesson that we should not focus on only one particular segment of railway. So what we did was, we have started concentrating on the exteriors. So we were predominantly interior suppliers till 2010, 12 or something like that. So this particular challenges has given us the exposure to concentrate on the exteriors, that is a train building itself. So
Hmm.
from 2014 onwards, we started concentrating building the entire train rather than to concentrate on suppliers. So that is basically a great disruption, I would say, and we took it in a very positive way. So that is the major challenge. And the second major challenge which we have done is basically a record-breaking Train 18 project. The entire project was done in almost 1 year time, which was really a record-breaking project. Nowhere in the entire world this type of projects have been completed in 1 year. So that was again a the challenging period for us, because in 3 years, between 2017 to 2020, we did almost 10 major breakthrough projects, which was now considered as the platform of Indian Railways.
Okay, that's very exciting. But you know, you also do turnkey, and you do, components, rolling stock components, etc. So across the whole chain, whether it's stock components, rail interiors, precision manufacturing, or even turnkey, where do you believe the company has a clear competitive advantage, and what are the segments where it's getting more intense, the competition?
We are majorly concentrating on the turnkey as such, because when you see the vendor base,
Hmm.
it's a wide vendor base. So when it comes to the competition, every product has got a competition, and we have a tenders, we have a reverse auctions and things like that. So when we talk about the turnkey, there are very few companies who have got this knowledge, know-how to do the turnkey. Because when it comes to the turnkey, it's a bigger game. It's a different ball game altogether, where you have a standard competitors and the compatible competitors who knows the industry in and out, basically. So the competition narrows down there. But at the same time, we have a very good constructive challenges which we need to face. Of course, we love to face these particular challenges, because we use a lot of new technology product, and we get to understand the product what the competitors also uses. So this is basically an advantage to a company and also an industry, because the competition is very strong,
Hmm.
and also very constructive. So I would say that turnkey would bring the company as Airfloa to a next level, basically. where you can be a coach builder maybe after let's say 3 to 5 years. So the know-how and the knowledge is very much intense in this turnkey contract. So we would always bat for turnkey contracts. Of course, we are not going out of the component suppliers. We keep doing this particular business because that
Mm.
is bread and butter for us. So at the same time, we would majorly focusing on turnkey contracts in future.
And the competition that you're saying, the one that's intensifying, again, that's in the turnkey space or any particular subsegments of the ecosystem?
See, in any of the business, competition is inevitable. You will get to see a lot of competitors. But
Mm.
that the advantage in this particular competition is basically we are in the initial stage of technology development. So we keep developing the technologies over a period of 10 to 20 years in railways. So competition, as I said, like it's inevitable, but at the same time, you have a competitor who are technically sound. So I would say we are more comfortable being in the competitive business of turnkey because the projects is mounting and we have our share of business for the next
Mm.
10 to 20 years. So this particular competition is not going to affect our growth.
Okay. Okay, that's heartening to know, I'm sure, even for your investors. But you recently went public. Talk to us about the core objective that you had behind this IPO. How are you deploying the proceeds that you've raised across capacity expansion, working capital, balance sheet strengthening? What is the focus there with that funds that you've raised? What are you doing with that post listing?
Yeah, the core the reason why we have gone for an IPO is basically for a total expansion. Today,
Hmm.
Indian railway business is growing up in multifolds, and it is going to go for the next 30 years in terms of Vande Bharat platform or a train set platform or a semi-high-speed train set platform or a suburban train platform, metro platform, and the high-speed train platform. So we are having a business of next 30 years, which we can see today. So we are in the very, very initial stage of the growth of the railway business. So what our management thought was to expand ourselves in terms of horizontal expansion and also a vertical expansion. So how this can happen? As a MSME company, we are competent of taking the contracts. We are technically sound to execute the contract, but at the same time, this working capital plays a vital role when it comes to an expansion, because the business today, wherein in terms of 100 200 crores are going to scale up to 1000 2000 crores in next 2 years. So then if that is the case, when you want to really scale up, then you need to have a total ecosystem to get this company grow. So that's the main reason why we have gone for an IPO. That is the major reason for it. So when it comes to IPO, we have raised approximately 90 to 91 crores in this initial IPO, wherein which around 50 plus crores are majorly used for working capital, and then around 15% is being used is being allocated for Capex, and then another around 10% has been allotted for reducing our previous loans, which is having the higher interest basically. So these are the major breakup of it. And um, uh, now we are getting good orders, and we are now expanding ourselves both in terms of expansion of the plant and machineries and things like that, and also increasing our turnovers. So in future, we will definitely wanting more money, and we are planning to get this particular money through through our accruals and also through debt and equity.
Okay. But tell me something, what has essentially changed post-listing on ground with respect to the company? It could be consumer confidence, customer confidence, funding access, governance, execution discipline. How would you define life after listing for Airflow?
Well, as you correctly said, first of all, our customers plays a vital role in our business, basically. First thing for any entrepreneur is to give a confidence to the customer, as we are capable of doing it, the bigger projects, because
Hmm.
right now we are participating in a tenders more than 1,500 crores. So to execute the contracts, so a customer will always assess or do the due diligence about a company, whether this company is capable enough to execute these huge contracts, basically. Then only customers can consider us, basically. So that confidence, definitely, this IPO is given to them for sure, and we are seeing it on ground right now, and we are talking to all the customers very confidently. And now we are executing this contract, and we are also getting the bigger contracts. So first is the customer confidence for sure. At the same time, when it comes to the vendors, like vendors is also now very much confident of going for the credit facilities, and bankers are now, we are dealing with the bankers now. We are approaching bankers for our extended facilities in terms of loans, in terms of term loans, in terms of BGs, bank guarantees, and things like that, which they are giving very, very big confidence to us, basically. So that has really given us a good ecosystem, as I said earlier. So this particular ecosystem will definitely make our company 2x and 3x in the next 2 years, and then 5x in the next 5 years, basically. So what we are doing right now. So this is how we envisage the advantage of IPO here.
Hmm.
And also there's a lot of investor calls and things like that's happening, that is really giving us a boost to concentrate more on the business, to give confidence on our investors also. Thereby, we can really do well with our top line and bottom line.
Okay, we'll also come to that, but first I wanted to bring back the Capex point which you were talking about, that from the funds raised you've kept about 15% for Capex. So over the next couple of years, what kind of Capex or expansion plans have you lined up? And if you could tell us whether the focus will continue to be on rail manufacturing, or given that you've now also started expanding in aerospace and defense, will the funds go more towards expanding those businesses?
Yeah. So the capex of approximately 13 to 14 crores, which we have envisaged right now, is predominantly to concentrate on machineries, high-end machineries, which will concentrate on both railway business and also a defense business, because we are majorly concentrating on the high precision machining components for the aerospace and defense. And also the same machineries can be used for a special products, which is being manufactured, or which is being concentrated in railways now. So we have strategically made
Hmm.
decisions in terms of selection of machines, and then we are deploying these particular machines for the phase one, which is going to be utilized in the next 3 to 6 month timeline, basically. And after that, now we have got a land of around 14 acres to start with, to construct approximately 2 lakh to 4 lakh square feet of covered building, covered sheds, basically, predominantly to unite major units together, basically, because we wanted to have a separate unit for each and every segment. As in for metros, a separate unit is required, and then the Indian Railways, we need to have a separate unit, and then the aerospace and defense. So when it comes to the aerospace and defense, they need to follow different standards. So what we are right now doing is, basically, we have units in various segments, various areas, which is a bit difficult for you to integrate at a certain time. And we are also spending some extra funds for transportation and things like that. We are now trying to centralize everything in one particular place so that the entire business can be monitored in one particular place, and then we can save at least 3 to 4% of our overall spending. So that way, this infrastructure is going to help us. And secondly, when it comes to the overall investment in the future, and that will be majorly for the defense and aerospace, because we are signing in with various partners and various customers for huge projects, which is next generation warfare systems, basically. So for that, we require a lot of capex for investing and development, things like that. So our major spendings would be for the defense in the future, because of the technology, because defense technologies are high-end technologies, to acquiring the technologies and also to develop various new technology for the defense and aerospace. So we will be raising, not in this particular year, maybe in the next financial year, we'll be raising funds for majorly for the defense and aerospace, apart from the funds what we have received right now.
Could you also talk to us about why, the foray into the aerospace and defense precision components? Because that is structurally different from railways business. So if you could talk to us about what drove this move, how important these segments are going to be for your overall revenue mix going forward. You're looking at a very ambitious growth, like you said, 3x growth in the next few years. How are you achieving that, and how will the mix change as you grow into these spaces as well?
Yes, this particular initiation started during COVID, basically, because COVID has taught us many lessons, basically. So, as I said earlier, in 2012, we were concentrating only on the interiors components, component supplies, basically. So, when there was not much initiation from the top management, then as in the industry top management, so there will be a stagnation where we don't know what to do, how to do, and things like that. So that's why we have gone for constructing the entire coach, basically. So when it comes to the entire coach, it's a bigger business, and the entire turnkey gives a competitive edge in terms of supplies of various components clubbed together and then supply as one particular kit, basically. So in 2019, we were very strong because from 2014 to 2019, you have seen, we have seen almost 5 times, 10 times growth, or even 20 times growth. I would say it's approximately 20 times growth in the 5 years between 2014 and 2019. Because of these strategical decisions, basically. Same way, 2019, when we were flying high with a lot of projects and new ambitions and things like that, COVID hit, and then we got very big hit in 2019. So then we thought, okay, railways is one area of concentration. Overall, now we are doing a lot of technology development in railways, but at the same time, we also wanted to do the same thing in major areas of concentration, which is having the futuristic growth of at least 20 to 30 years. So thereby we selected two areas. One is the defense and aerospace, and the other one is the renewable energy area. So when we talk about airflow today, we are predominantly concentrating on three major sectors. One is the railways, and the other one is the aerospace and defense, and third one is the renewable energy. So what is there in the common is basically we are basically an engineering company. Any engineering company, apart from the segment, right? We have our core competency to do any engineering, basically. So railways and the defense are almost on the same platform in terms of the business platform, basically. The reason is that railway is again a government-driven sector as of now. Defense is also a government sector, as of now, majorly. And the process what we follow in the railways, we are going to follow the same process as far as the defense is concerned. Again, when it comes to the renewable energy, most of the renewable energy contracts are from the government, again through the tenders, basically. So we don't find any differences or difficulties in shifting or migrating or value adding into the defense and aerospace and renewable sector. The reason being is that we are going to use the same manpower, same design unit, same machineries, men and machineries, same infrastructure for both the segment.
Mm.
Simple example is that we recently got the contract of manufacturing the main battle tank hull. So, which is the body of the main battle tanks, basically, or artillery tanks, with the same infrastructure capability. And the defense officials visited our facility, and they clearly fit our infrastructure clearly fits to their requirement, and then they selected us and we got the contract now. So defense is basically a combination of the mechanics, electronics, instrumentation. Again, railways is also a combination of mechanical, electronics, instrumentation, and electrics. So we are not shifting our focus. Only thing is that we are going to value add in the defense, because defense is basically a new segment, and we are not participating or competing with the legacy defense business. We are now concentrating on the next generation warfare business, basically, where most of the companies, even the flourished companies, are in the initial stage of development, and we are also now participating. The advantage what we are having is basically we are not a lab design company. We are already having an infrastructure which is already there, and we have proved it in various areas, and we are just expanding our business through another vertical, wherein which the once the proven product is to be scaled up, we can use the same facility what we are having for railways. So now that's the reason we are doing a separate infrastructure within the campus for the defense and aerospace. That's why we require more funds, more deployment of funds for the Capex.
And how big do you see these segments growing in terms of your revenue mix going forward? Where are they right now, and where do you see them go from here?
This year, we are having around 15% of our revenue from the aerospace and defense. And next year, we are envisaging not less than 30%. And 2026, 27, 28, in fact, if things goes well, even 26, 27 would be a 50-50 revenue sharing business. And 27, 28 would be more a defense and aerospace dominant business, with the exponential increase of railway business. Because railway business, we are having a very good orders for this year and next year. Totally, we are already blocked our next year calendar for.
Can you tell us what the order book is like?
Um, well, right now, the I cannot tell you the exact number,
Mm.
but I can say it's approximately the order books right now. What we are having is approximately around 500 plus crores, and we are expecting another, 700 crores of business, basically, as far as.
In next fiscal.
Yes, yes. This year we'll be getting the orders. So, and we are also getting some orders in terms of renewable energy, which is a new segment which we are now concentrating along with aerospace and defense, railways, aerospace and defense, basically, that is having a very good traction. One thing is very sure that when we are not having a required PAT margin, we will never enter into any of this contract in this particular three segment.
Okay. We're also curious to understand how large is the team, how critical is skilled manpower and execution capability when it comes to maintaining quality, certifications, delivery timelines, etc. So how are you placed in terms of that?
Our biggest advantage is basically our workforce because it's a very strongly engineered products basically. And when you see the growth of the railways, the technology is now drastically changing in a very positive way. So to adapt this particular technology levels, we require a very good human resource with a lot of technology inputs. So our advantage in this particular business is that we are majorly concentrating on our own workforce rather than a contract labors, predominantly to concentrate on the quality part, basically. Of course, we have contract labor segments for the semi-skilled and unskilled areas. But when it comes to the skill level, obviously we require a good, strong technical minds, which we are having right now, and we are expanding right now because we are after IPO, we are recruiting the industry experts from various segments to concentrate on it. And we are also getting in our independent directors from defense and aerospace segment and also from the renewable energy railway segments, basically. So we are now converting our company as a fully technology-driven company for which human resource plays a vital role. So we are getting in all technology minds, irrespective of their numbers and things like that, to get in into the platform and to increase the technology revenue of the company the next 2 to 3 years, basically. So for your questions, yes, currently we are having more than 300 plus employees with us who are on the payrolls. Apart from this, around 120 to 150 people are there as a subcontractors, basically. And this is going to grow up. The reason being is that we have multiple orders right now. We were doing single shift before. Now we are increasing it to two shift, and in future we'll be having three shift, basically. So
Okay.
we are increasing our manpower resources and also the infrastructures in the next 1 years of time, basically.
And who are the key leaders? If you could tell us a bit about the leaders within your organization who are driving, multiple verticals and businesses for you, who will be driving the next phase of growth, hopefully as well. And more importantly, how do you ensure alignment and accountability as the company will scale up now post the IPO?
Well, as I already highlighted about the history, basically, it was
Hmm.
a family driven company for last 25 years. So we actually wanted to become a professional company. That's the reason why we have gone for an IPO in terms of revenue generation and also to totally become a technology company and 100% corporate system, basically. So what we are now doing is basically we are forming a strong platform down under, basically, from the key industrial experts. So when you see our board, you can see Mr. Tilak Seth and Mr. Sudhanshu Mani, who is basically a familiar names in the railway industry. Again, we have now inducted colonels and also lieutenant journals, the lieutenant general for our aerospace and defense segment. And when it comes to the renewable energy, we have got that expert from the renewable energy segment. That is basically forms a top layer platform. And below them, we have now already we have recruited lot many engineers from the various segments, basically, for both the railways and defense, which is now a clear structure, which is now been arrived in a system. Thereby, we will be more concentrating on a strategy of getting this business to the next level, and this particular platform will be concentrating on a day-to-day regular operations, basically. So when it comes to the strength, what we are having is basically we are having the next generation, since it is a family-driven company. We have the next generation people who have joined our company after completing their studies in UK and the US, now joining us. One is the executive director, Mr. Satish Kumar Venkateshan, who is the son of founder director, Mr. Venkateshan, and he's already an executive director concentrating on the projects, basically. And we have one Mr. Saravana Kumar, who is my brother-in-law, who is right now in Canada, joining in the month of April for project management to concentrate on the global projects, basically. So he is
Hmm.
basically be honors in NSW, and then doing the project management key roles in Canada right now. So he is now coming back to India to take care of the project management segment. And we have the engineering head who recently joined, Mr. Suresh Mohan. He resigned from Bosch, and then he joined us very recently to concentrate on the engineering segment. So the idea is basically to involve the industrial experts to concentrate on the various segments, thereby to strengthen our platform stronger, basically.
Hmm.
That's the idea, and we will be more concentrating on the strategies and bringing in business and expansions and things like that. So that is what we are doing now.
Okay, great. Before we let you go, just one, quick question about the growth projection as well. If you have to look the next 5 to 7 years, give us the long-term vision that you have for Airfloa Rail Technology, whether it's in terms of revenue scale, production capabilities, and sectoral diversification. How do you see the company growing and shaping up over the next 5 to 7 years?
Let me come to the numbers later, but the major focus of Airflow Rail Technology right now is to develop two technology product every year. That's the goal I have set to my team, that in the next 5 years, we need to have at least 10 technology product into the system, basically. Whether we have railways, or in the defense, or in the renewable energy. For example, railways we have already highlighted in many of the interviews about the product which we are now concentrating in future, basically. So in the defense, we have many products in the line of development, basically. And in terms of renewable energy, now we are talking about the flexible solar panels and BESS energy storage systems, and that is a nanotechnology energy systems. These are all the things which is not there in the country right now. So we are now concentrating on that. The idea is basically, technically, we need to develop two products every year in each segment. That's the goal. The reason why we are now concentrating on this particular segment is process is basically, we want to convert, or we want to upgrade ourselves as a tech company, a railway tech company, defense tech company, and also renewable energy tech company. So the moment you get in more technology, it itself will take care of the revenue generation, basically, as a product. So the bottom line is to develop two new products every year in every segment, basically. That is the goal for the next 5 years. And also, in terms of numbers, when we multiply all this particular development, the numbers would be to become at least a 5,000 crore to $1 billion company in the next 5 years. That's the idea. And we have a very clear roadmap for this in terms of numbers for each and every particular segment. And I'm very sure that 5 years would be enough to reach this particular target.
Okay. Well, that's a very ambitious and a very exciting target that you've set for yourself. And I'm sure the investors and all the stakeholders will also be very, very keen to see how that plays out. All the best to you, Mr. Manikandan. And thank you so much once again for joining us on Small Cap Spotlight.
Thank you so much for giving us a time. Thank you so much for inviting me.